Hello, future millionaires. Today I would like to take a look at the crypto market, where we are today in the cycle, actually, because everybody has a different opinion. So let's take a look at what the charts are actually saying and what is best to invest in compared to where we are right now. What do I mean by that? Well, if you now invest in Bitcoin, now that Bitcoin is sitting above 40,000 and you expect Bitcoin to maybe go to 200,000, you make a nice 5x out of it. But is that really what you are in crypto for? Or do you want to maybe get a little bit more out of that? Let's take a look. Like the video, if you're at it, would help me a lot. Say something in the comments, just say something, doesn't matter, just tell me something. It helps the algorithm, and now I got a lot of unsubscribers because you think I'm a retard, but I can actually show you some cool charts right here. And there is a Patreon link down below as well if you want to follow influence wallets and get access to private deals, etc. So do check it out. Really interesting content right there. Today I would like to use the Into the Cryptoverse platform again because there are a lot of interesting charts on here, on-chain charts as well. Usually we go over the regular charts on TradingView, but to be really honest, you know, Bitcoin, it does nothing, right? It's just overall the region between like $45,000 and $40,000 is just sideways to me, and we are really waiting for that big leg up, right? And to be really honest, if we do take a look at the volume that we are getting nowadays, most of the volume really comes in at, let me take a real quick look, but I think it's in around this area. Yeah, most of the volume comes in at around $30,000, right? There is not a lot of volume if we go down. So I think that if we go down, we can go down to that $30,000 area. But hey, it's always the question, like, if it's that predictable, I'll put all my money in the short right now. So, but that's just what I expect. But other than that, that's like smaller time frame stuff. That's within now and like maybe 2 months. What to expect between now and the top of the bull run? I think most people agree that we think that we can expect the bull run to end at the end of 2025, right? If you, I mean, the cycle is all we can go off, basically. And if we do take a look at the cycle, very simple, I want to make this very nice and clear and short. We topped out end of 2013, end of 2017, end of 2021. We bottomed end of 2014, end of 2018, end of 2022. How 4 years cyclical do you want it to be? Well, according to that, end of 2025 could mark the top of the bull run, but it also hasn't really started yet, right? Like, it's now all like, oh yeah, there's an altcoin blowing up, and there's an altcoin blowing up, and that's doing fine, and that's doing fine. But if you do take a look at the overall altcoin market, it's not like that this is a parabolic bull run or anything, right? After the halving, usually this was the halving, we go parabolic. After the halving, we go parabolic. We are not even at the halving yet. We just got out of our resistance area like 3 months ago. So it's not that spectacular anyway. The most spectacular time will come. So for the people that now be in crypto and like, oh, I did not make much money yet. Like, yeah, of course. Like, the market overall, altcoins collectively did a 3x. Bitcoin did a 3x. If you made more than a 3x, hey, you outperformed the market. But overall, the market just did a 3x. Like, that's nothing too special, right? In this last bull market, the market did from bottom to top. The altcoin market actually did a 73x, right? So, you know, there is some room left. I'm not saying that we will do a 73x this time, but there is a difference between what we did then and what we did now. I think there is a lot of room for that. So let's take a look at some interesting charts right here. First thing, are new retail people, that should be our exit liquidity, entering the crypto market? Well, the answer very quickly, no. They're not, right? The red line is the social risk. That's people watching YouTube videos, following other people on Twitter, subscribing to YouTube channels, some measurable things that tell us like, hey, are there new people interested in crypto? Well, we had a little spike right here, but we are down here again, right? Like, the retail is not really stepping into crypto yet. Here the retail was stepping into crypto. Since really when? Well, since end of 2020, beginning 2021, right? So that was here. So if we compare that to Bitcoin, that was here. So Bitcoin already went from 3K to, yeah, let's say wherever you want it to be, 17K, 15K. And that was the point where people started to get into it. They were all too late. They were all too late. Like, yeah, if you stepped in right here, you could have rode it, but it's not the best scenario, right? We haven't seen that yet. Right? It now more looks like we're somewhere, something like this, right? Where we go up and go down, and at a certain point we will get that parabolic wave of new people again. And I don't want to sound like a bad guy. I don't want to sound like a dick. But these are the people that gonna give us their money, right? I don't want to say stupid people, because these people are, of course, it's stupid. But if crypto content related and crypto knowledge related, hey, I was part of that stupid people as well, right? I don't want to even call them stupid. It sounds negative, but people that just don't know really much about crypto, right? They have no knowledge of how the cycles work, right? They just see a Bitcoin, you know, surpassing 100K or 200K, and they'd be like, whoa, let's buy this. But we were here in the 30s, the 20s, and we already had that. So they're buying from us, right? So that's what we want. Not these, like, yeah, these ETFs help, like, to get your grandma into crypto. But really, do you want to dump on your grandma? That's not what you want, bro. So it's don't dump on your grandma. I'm the only one who finds that funny. Oh my God. No, I'm not high. Can you imagine if I am? So anyway, where was I going with this? Yeah, so the actual retail that's yet to step in, they haven't really done that yet, right? Bitcoin here also, it went from the bottom like 3K, and it went all the way to like, well, even high 14, and it went all the way back to like 5 or 4. And in all this drama and extreme 4X's and major crashes, nobody really gives a fuck, right? Just like here, we go up, down, but eventually the parabolic stuff is yet about to happen. So how do we prepare though? And that, my friend, depends on you. There's nobody that can give you a answer that fits your situation except yourself. It depends on your risk tolerance, really. A lot of people, they don't care. They are new, they have some money to spare, they feel like, okay, whatever, I'm young, I can make it back, and they YOLO into the altcoin market, right? They go into the altcoin market way too early. They buy it here, and they try to time the bottom, right? There are also people, and by the way, the upside is that if you do try to time the bottom and it works, you have a lot of profit. However, 9 out of 10 don't seem to do that, even more. And there are also people that feel like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to lose my money as well, right? I come into crypto to make money, not to lose it. So they rather wait for the bottom, for it to be over, have some confirmation, and then look like, okay, what's good to buy in this market, right? If you want to make a steady like 3, 4, 5x, hey, Bitcoin and Ethereum, easy, right? Definitely, it's good. Like look, Bitcoin is the lowest risk in crypto, and it's a high reward, so that's a good one. But a lot of people feel like, yeah, but Bitcoin is boring. That's one nonsense. Because even in the last market, with all the diminishing returns, Bitcoin did a 21.5x, right? The boring coin. I don't know. If you put 100K in it, you multi-millionaire. So it's not that boring, if you ask me. 21x. Try to do that in, traditional finance. On the other hand, it's also understandable because Bitcoin is not as spectacular as the altcoin market. Can Bitcoin do another 20x? Yeah. From 15K to 300K? I can definitely see that happen, for sure. In fact, if it doesn't get there, will be weird. So you can still get like, I don't know, maybe a 7, 8x out of Bitcoin from this point. Maybe, right? But that's kind of my top. Well, yeah, maybe. However, the alt, if you buy Bitcoin right now, then you basically have zero hopes for 100x, right? Because although it could do crazy stuff, I don't see Bitcoin do 100x this cycle. Going to $4 million, I just don't think so, right? Eventually, one day, we might be all dead then. So therefore, people look in the altcoin market. And the altcoin market does do that a lot. And you want to be there, right? If you look at Ronin, for example. Hey, in the time Bitcoin did a 3x, Ronin did a 18x. Like, what the fuck? Crazy. And that's even not a high-risk casino crap coin, right? This is a legit good layer 1 for crypto gaming. So even the high cap boring stuff can even give you already like a 20x, and it doesn't even look like an alt season yet. It's not an alt season. That's yet to come. End of the year, mark my words. Well, I'm not that sure. Nobody's sure, of course, but that's my expectation. Chainlink, 4x'd. Most boring coin, but a lot more spectacular than Bitcoin at least. Right, so a lot of people want to look at the altcoin market. Look at Solana, for fuck's sake. Like, even Solana is so high cap and it did more than a 12x. Like, whoa. It's an interesting market. So, is it actually now paying off to be in altcoins? Well, let's take a look and let's go back in time. Right, so if you believe in the 4-year cycle, which you should, like it's written on the wall, so just study the 4-year cycle. Okay, if you believe in the 4-year cycle, let's go 4 years back in time and let's see what would have happened if you invested in what. So if we just invested in Bitcoin, right? And we set our starting date at 2020 and let's go to the beginning of February, right? Somewhere here. Now, you will first see it go down and then up because we had a black swan right there, right? So here you had $1,000. You think, okay, I'm ready to ride, right? This is today, 4 years ago. Put $1,000 into crypto. You're new, feel like, okay, I hear everybody talking about that Bitcoin. Let's buy some. And a couple of days later, it's worth $500. You'll be like, fuck! A lot of people exited the market right there. You should have some balls, okay? If you're a girl, I don't know, go buy some balls somewhere. I don't know. But you should have those because these things happen. Like, I know this was COVID, but still. 30% corrections also happens in bull markets multiple times. You should get through that, right? You should not panic sell anyway. But if you invested $1,000 in Bitcoin around this period of the market, right, where we are right now, and you rode it all the way to the top, it was worth like, let's say 7,000. Well, you will never sold the top. So let's say $6,000. You've made a 6x, right? Again, diminishing returns. Diminishing returns suck it. It's not always the case yet, really, actually. So, but let's diminish a little bit. You maybe can make a 5x from this point. Great. So if you feel like, hey, I don't want to take too much risk, but I do want exposure to the market. Hey, I don't know what sector you can put in $1,000 and 1.5 years later you have $5,000. Like, it's for doing nothing. Press buy once and press sell once. And that's like the easiest way to 5x your money, right? But there's another way to this because there are also these magical altcoins. So what if we did not buy Bitcoin, but we bought altcoins? And like, this is hard to pick right now, right? So let's go to coin market cap history, because we can of course look at the current top 10, but back then we did not know what the current top 10 is going to be. So let's go actually to the beginning of 2020 and see what altcoins look, in this list relative safe and promising to invest in. So you have Ethereum, XRP, Bitcoin Cash. Let's go with a couple of those, right? So let's go with like a couple of these things that we see right here. So we just like, if we look at the top 10 right here, right? That's what our current top 10 is for that time. I had Ethereum, XRP, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, Litecoin. So I also selected EOS, you have that, Tether, but I also selected BNB, Cardano. So Chainlink, Dash, we can select Dash. Let's go with that. Now, the thing is that back then, people thought, hey, this is the safe play because, hey, this is the top 10, top 20, right? Like, these are the safe altcoins. Yeah, most of these are somewhere still, right? However, if you go a little down with one scroll, you already see a lot of tokens that you don't know what the fuck it is, right? You have basic attention token. It's still there, the Brave Browser token. I know. VeChain, we know that. But I know coin, Mindal, right? What the fuck is that? Playfuel, Decred. And this is the top 50. So the lower you go, the more high risk it's going to be, right? That's how our current top 10 or top 100 or whatever is going to look like in 4 years. Remember that. So altcoins, they are a lot more promising and they are a lot more like rewarding, but they can wreck you as well. So, but let's take a look. If we invested $1,000 in all these coins, and we separated this $1,000, right? So we have, let's say we have 10, I don't know, we invested $100 in every one of them. So what would have happened? Let's take a look what would have happened. We invested $1,000, and instead of making a nice 6x with Bitcoin, we made a 36x with these altcoins. So in a bull market, it's a lot more rewarding, a lot more. Right? Also in this crash, we went down a little harder, by the way, but we made a lot more, right? And that, you know, $36,000 today would be worth $7,000, right? $7,000. So today you would have that. Now, that kind of sucks, right? Because the problem is a lot of people are buying these at the wrong time, right? So if you would have taken the same altcoins, but you would have bought it somewhere, let's say in the end of the bull market, which unfortunately a lot of people do, so let's say the 10th of November or something like that, you invested $1,000, you would have magically turned your $1,000 in around like 200. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Right, so timing is super important. And to be honest, we now have first a bull market in front of us, and after that a bear market. So go ahead and be in altcoins, right? If you can stand the temporary loss, because we could have corrections, man. And these corrections will wreck you harder if you are in altcoins than in Bitcoin. Hey, but that's the risk you are taking for getting this higher reward, of course. But this was the safe top 15, give or take. Now, unfortunately, Into the Cryptoverse doesn't recognize most of these coins because they're completely dead. So I cannot make the comparison, but if you look at most of these altcoins, Mixin, let's just take a look what happened to Mixin, right? This coin, it from 2018, it was sitting at, what the fuck happened? $2,000, it's now sitting at 100, right? And that's, I think, not even one of the worst performers. Most of these coins that you will find right here, they are down hard. This one was $1.17. It is now less than a cent, right? The point on hypercash, a hypercash is from $40 to 9 cents. You know what I mean? Most of these coins are nowhere to be found anymore. And that's the shitty part, because this is even top of page 1. right? So if you now go to CoinMarketCap and you look at top of page 1, you have projects like Algorand, Aave, Mina Protocol, Quant, Helium, Flow, Render, Sui, Maker, VeChain, Caspa, Filecoin, Nair. They all gonna die. I don't know. They're probably not all gonna die. But a lot of them will. Or at least won't be worth nearly as much as what they are right now in the next bull or bear market. Most of these will go to shit. Because that's what bear markets do. They wipe out altcoins, they refresh it, and then a whole wave of new, better projects is being born. And I understand, like, that's also diminishing the projects that we have right here. No doubt that they are way better than the projects that we have right here. So they are there to stay? I don't know. In 4 years, the projects that we have in the top 50 are way better than the projects than we have right here. So most of the projects that we see right now are going to get completely washed out. So for now, it doesn't matter, right? For now, you can just probably, if you want to make a good steady gain without taking like relative too much risk, you can basically just buy anything in the top 50. Well, maybe even in the top 100. And you can ride a fantastic bull market. As long as you get the fuck out of all of these coins as soon as the bear market starts. Right? And don't marry it. Don't be like, yeah, you know what? I bought XRP and I don't care if it's a bear market because they say I need to have diamond hands. Yeah, you guess what? Diamond hands get wrecked. That's fucking nonsense. Diamond hands. What do you want to do with those? You can't sell those. Right? If you have diamond hands, all you're doing is basically saying, hey guys, I have XRP worth $3, but I have diamond hands. It's 2018, doesn't fucking matter. It's now 2024 and the price even hasn't came close to where I had it, but diamond hands. What does that, what can you buy from that? Like nothing, right? That sucks. Don't marry a coin. Doesn't matter how much you like a coin. Right? And I'm using XRP as an example because it never came back to where it was. And a lot of coins won't also do the same thing. They will never come back to where they were. Right? It had the perfect timing, the perfect hype, no competition. It had everything. What it doesn't have right now. And it don't be stubborn like, well, it gets back. Even if it someday gets back, you missed out on so much by just holding one asset right here because you thought it was coming back. And now 6 years later, where the fuck is it? Right? So ride a bull market. If you want to play it really, 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 really safe, buy Bitcoin. You will be fine. Buy it now. You can stand a correction of 30%. That's fine. You will do fine. Right? If you want to take a lot of risk, get into the altcoin market. Let me tell you this. Crypto is high risk per definition, right? And then within crypto, there are certain degrees of risk as well. So if you get into crypto, Bitcoin is fucking risky. You can say whatever you want. It is very risky. Why do you think the rewards are so high, right? It is risky. And then if you feel like, yeah, okay, but let's go into altcoins, you're playing a way higher risk game. Like I showed you, even the top projects got all washed out in one cycle, most of them. And if you really feel like, okay, yeah, now I'm gonna YOLO, look outside of the top 100. There are some projects right there that will blow your mind, 100%. But there are a lot of projects that will wreck you the fuck out of crypto, right? These projects, they will magically turn $1,000 into a cent. That's what happens. Bitcoin 2. Bitcoin 2? What Bitcoin 2? Ah, Bitcoin 2, the trash can. Nobody hears about Bitcoin 2, right? And there are so many of these like, and this again, this is the safe area. This is not even the top 500 something dumpster shit, right? So, and yeah, and what you can do is like the other thing is you should not blindly buy anything. you should do a lot of research, because there are some projects right here that are still around and they are very low right now. If you look at Ultra, it had a market cap of $9 million, right? Ultra. If you look now 4 years later, Ultra has a market cap, it's still around of $50 million, 57. It's now still 6x above where it was back then. And if you look at the all-time high, it went to a market cap of $660 million. And then I'm not even talking about getting into the seed sale of Ultra or something, right? But it was sitting there. It was sitting so low, right? 2020, this area, $10 million. Blah, did incredible. But again, in the bear market, Ultra, great project, right? But it wrecks you. So never get attached and be like, yeah, but it is a good project. You know what else is a good project? Tesla. They make great cars, right? Everybody drives those ugly ass piece of shit cars, but they make good cars. But still, in the bear market, it got wrecked for more than 75%. The stock went all the way from $415 to $100. This looks like a fucking altcoin, but it's one of the biggest companies in the world. So product and price, they will never make sense. In a bull market, they don't make sense, because you can honestly not tell me that if you look at our current whatever, if you look at, I don't want to shit on XRP necessarily, but still, if you look at XRP, what is actually worth $27 billion? Bullshit. Everything here is extremely overpriced. And in a bull market, it's going to be sick overpriced, like crazy overpriced, right? And in a bear market, it gets completely wrecked. It gets extremely wrecked. If you take a look at, I don't know. If you take a look at Seedify, for example, Seedify, great project. And it was sitting at a $350 million market cap or something, right? It's completely overpriced. But in a bear market, it gets so wrecked. It was sitting just at a $30 million market cap. Can you imagine buying this for a $30 million market cap? What a steal that is. Right, so don't try to look for things in crypto and you'll be like, oh, it needs to make sense. It won't. You are only making your brains doing like, ow. It's nothing makes sense, man. It's like crypto doesn't make sense. In a bull market, everything is way more expensive than it should be, and in a bear market, it's way too cheap, right? And the fucked up thing right now is that we're now in the middle between that, right? We're now, if a lot of people, they pull up like this cycle and they be like always on Twitter, right? Like, well, we are here. No, we are here right now. We are not there. We are not there. We are not. We are here, right? Every cycle is different in a certain way. But on the other hand, it is also the same every single freaking time, right? These 4-year cycles, they play out like, it's scary how great they play out. And therefore, you know, this is what the market always does, right? Before the halving, look how hard we are going up. Well, here before the halving, we were going up very hard as well. Here before the halving, doesn't look like much, but we went from $160 to $320, 30, and we came all the way back down again as well. Like here before the halving, we went up $2, blah, $7, and back down to $4. Doesn't look like much, but these are moves of like 300%, 50% down, like crazy, right? We're there again. So, hey, you know, we could see a good correction and then go parabolic again. You know, and very quickly, like, because it might be controversial, I said like, hey, could Bitcoin go to $300,000? Why not, right? Like, why not? That's the best answer that I can give you actually, because if you had Bitcoin here at like $160, right? People are here 160. Whoa, we go all the way up to 320. Back to 200. Oh, wow, we're at 340. Oh, whoa, we go to 500. People are going crazy. And there's one guy that says, yeah, but we're going to 20,000. So you'll be like, what the fuck are you talking? We are not even touching 1,000. You're talking about 20K? Are you crazy? And it happened. Every time, every time. Cycle before that as well, right? We were sitting at $2. We went all the way to $3, back to $2.50. We went to $7. Crazy. And there was someone, yeah, we're going to 1300 or 11. You're like, what? We're not even at 10. What? Are you mental? And it happened. And now we're fucking with this, $40,000 level. And there's someone saying, yeah, we can go to 300K. People will still say, are you crazy? I don't know, man. Here it was a 120x. Here from the bottom, it was a 580x, right? From our bottom to 300K is a 18x. It's by far not the most impossible thing, and all the other things that were way more unlikely always happened, right? So it's just common sense, like, hey, one, it is very possible. You just are too stuck in this region to even consider that. And two, yeah, that's how crypto moves, man. There's a lot of money in the world, and most of that money is not in crypto yet, while crypto is getting massive adoption right now. And it's also very simple. If you just look how Bitcoin moves, then you can basically see it, right? There's the logarithmic regression band. In the bull market, we get to the upper band, upper band, upper band, and the upper band. In the bear market, to the lower band, lower band, lower band, lower band. We're still in that lower band. You know where that upper band is? End of 2025, between 280,000 and 430,000. So again, if it doesn't happen to go to like 300,000, okay. But then this time is apparently different, right? After, well, the complete history. So if you're saying that it cannot go that high, hey, maybe you're right, but you are betting against all odds, right? And I'm not saying that if it goes to 280, you should not sell because it goes to 300. Please take your profits if that happens. But hey, so far, this is what we do. So, long video, information all over the place. All in all, I think that the time for altcoins is now here. I've been mostly into Bitcoin in 2023 because the Bitcoin dominance was going up, and that's exactly what it did for all 2023. But I think we are topped out right now, to be honest. And some people saying, yeah, we're going all the way back here. But the thing is that this also includes stable coins, right? And stable coins, they are getting printed. So if you compare the Bitcoin dominance to actual altcoins and you take Ethereum away, because who gives a fuck about Ethereum really if you want to take a little bit more risk, then you have, this. And there the chart is already sitting at big resistance, plus it's weakening, lower highs. Right, so it looks like the Bitcoin dominance has actually topped out. So therefore, my interest in Bitcoin is not like that high, and I'm rather into altcoins right now. And even the top altcoins can give you perfect returns. Sometimes people feel like, yeah, you know what, I'm not going to buy this altcoin because it already has $1 billion market cap, this, that, blah, blah, blah. You know what also had $1 billion market cap before it did almost another 100x? Cardano. Nobody wanted to buy Cardano right here. Look, market cap. In, well, right now, February 2020. Cardano had a $1 billion market cap. Nobody cared. And it went, oh, that was before the Powerball. So this was even the best time to accumulate this whole thing, right? So yeah, there are coins with $1 billion market cap already, which could definitely pull off a 100x, maybe, right? So if you look in this list and you go right here, like Thorchain, Algorand, Aave, Mina, the safer coins, they can still give you a high return. So you do not necessarily have to go all the way to the meme coin category and then go to page 500 to find the next super fuck flow key to make an actual 100x with crypto. And apart from that, look into IDOs, right? If you want to be early, then you're going to put it off, man. I'm fucking tired. There's a lot of cursing in this video, sorry. I'll put a disclaimer, don't make your kids watch this. Thanks for watching. If you do like the video, give it a like, man. Would help me a lot. Subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.